Next up this morning is People versus Kyle Michael Wellington. Is that you, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Here with your lawyer, Mr. Paul Gibson. Also present is Abby Stoll from the prosecuting attorney's office. File number here, thank you, Paul, is 26112FY. People versus Kyle Michael Wellington. Mr. Wellington was originally charged on a felony complaint that alleged in January, the 11th and the 21st of January 2026 in the city of Three Rivers, that he did assault Amanda Lee Maston, aggravated assault, as a second offense, which makes it a felony punishable by up to 5 years imprisonment. The defendant pled 2 counts of domestic violence. On February 17th, the matter was set for sentencing today. Ms. Maston is present, which is helpful. So I took the plea on February 17th. We set the matter for sentencing today. I wanted a chance to get the police report and get victim input. I did get the police report, and the complainant is here. So, Mr. Gibson, what would you like me to know?
Mr. Wellington showed me an email that he received. It looks like he has obtained employment at American Axle. The email indicated that he's supposed to start today. It's my understanding that the victim in this case is asking for the no contact to be lifted. I believe that this was an unfortunate, these were unfortunate situations, and I believe that the defendant can learn from this, and I believe he can be rehabilitated. I would ask the court to consider as a sentence probation, community service. If there's jail time, I would ask the court to consider work release to allow the defendant to work to start his new job, or to consider weekends that would allow him to work. Thank you.
Ms. Maston, would you come up, please? Thank you for being here. Are you Amanda Maston?
I am.
And you're the complainant in this matter, and it's alleged that these things happened over a period of time in January. My sense from reading the report and reading the affidavit of probable cause is that this wasn't a one-time thing, but a pattern of discord and abuse. You broke your finger, and I wanted to know, among other things, whether you had unpaid medical expenses. So what would you like me to know?
Sorry. Yes, my finger did get broke.
Now, as you're sitting here right now, it's March 2nd. You got a cast or a brace on your finger. Is that as a result of this injury in January?
They had to put a pin in my finger last Wednesday. Had they not put the pin in, the tip of my finger would not extend straight, and I wouldn't be able to use the tip of my finger. And I work a lot, so I need my hands to work.
Okay.
But
go ahead.
The way that the report is written from the officer, it's not accurate. There's flaws in it. Like, I need him home. Like, I understand, like, everybody makes mistakes in their life, but like, it was partially my fault too. But like, I can't shower. I'm not supposed to drive. Like, I need him home.
Because of the injury to your hand? You can't shower because of that?
But I can't get it wet at all. So
Can't you
like,
put a bag over it or something?
yes, but like I still need some help. Like,
Okay.
I still have kids to take care of as well.
How many kids are in the home?
Two, well, one's 19 and one's 16.
And where do you work?
Right now, I'm not working.
Where did you work?
McDonald's.
Did you have to take off work as a result of this?
No, I worked through it.
He's been living in Buchanan?
Yeah.
All right. He had some methamphetamine issues in the fairly recent past. Is methamphetamine a pink elephant in the room here?
No,
Methamphetamine's not an issue presently?
no,
How about alcohol?
no.
Well, let me read what you told the police, or at least what they put in the report. Amanda Maston was identified verbally and interviewed in the interview room at Three Rivers Police Department. On January 11th, she was in an altercation with Wellington. She was trying to leave for work and asked Wellington for the car keys. He was not being cooperative and she thought they were in his book bag. She grabbed the bag and Wellington tried to rip the bag from her and the force threw her and the book bag to the ground. She explained that her finger was in the loop when he threw the bag and she did not let go. She landed face first on the porch with the book bag. After she fell, Wellington told her the keys were upstairs by the TV on the counter. Wellington drove her to the hospital in Dowagiac to seek treatment from the injury, so she could not tell the story of what happened. She stated the hand specialist asked further questions about the situation, and that's where the referral came from. She had her medical records and handed them over. She advised that on January 21st, Wellington assaulted her again. She stated that she was sleeping. She woke up to Wellington calling her a liar and a cheater. She believed that if he believed that, he could leave. She was trying to get up and leave the room and he was not letting her pass. She stated when she tried to move past him, he tackled her on the bed and pinned her down. She explained that he had a hold of her neck with one hand holding her down and proceeded to show me a bruise under her ear on her neck. The bruise was consistent with a thumbprint. She continued to state that she blacked out after that due to the anxiety of the situation. She felt she could not breathe due to pillows and blankets on the bed, not from being choked. She advised she then noticed a long red mark on her chest that was not there until the incident of the 23rd. She believed that when she blacked out, Wellington must have caused that red mark. Masson advised that the physical assaults are getting more frequent and happening once a week. This is your house and he was living there. He has a previous domestic assault charge and neither of those incidents involve drugs or alcohol. All right, Mr. Wellington, what do you want me to know?
I've never hit her. I promise. I've never, the most I've ever done was calm her down. She got angry at me once and went to snatch the phone. And that's when I held her down, like, I've never hit her. I promise. I'm not going to assault her in any way.
Well, you entered these two pleas. Do you want me to continue to proceed to sentence?
Gotta be honest with you.
Yes.
I didn't know how it was going to turn out. Yes, I did snatch the book bag out of her hand.
All right, which resulted in her finger getting broken?
Yes.
Okay, well, that one's pretty good. All right. The other one, you're saying you were actually holding her down but that is an impermissive touching. Do you want to continue your plea to these two misdemeanors?
I don't want to get, I, my luck is I'll take it to trial and something's gonna happen where I don't know, and I'm facing 7 years, 7.5 years.
Yes, that are felony charges. She says you assault her once a week, that you're angry all the time, and that she's in an abusive, assaultive relationship. Certainly, she got a significant injury to her hand. But you are correct. The prosecutor dismissed the felony charge for a plea to the misdemeanors. And that's,
And my first domestic was my ex-wife wouldn't let me leave the house, so I moved her out of the way and she called her sister, but.
well, that was 13 years ago.
Yes, Your Honor.
Abigail, what's the prosecutor's input here?
I would object to the defendant withdrawing his plea. I believe there needs.
Well,
to be a
I'm not sure he's asking to, you're not asking to withdraw the plea, are you?
Oh, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead. But if he did, you would object.
Well, I guess then my sentencing recommendation would be, I mean, Your Honor, so this was reduced from a felony to a misdemeanor. The defendant does have a prior domestic violence conviction. It's clear that he's not taken any accountability. He told the officer during his interview that he's never hit a woman, and told you just now that he's never hit a woman, and clearly that's not the case. He has a domestic violence prior. She's sitting here a month later with her fingers still in a brace. The officer also noted after the second assault that she had bruising on her throat in the shape of a thumbprint. I guess I would recommend at least 21 days in jail, as well as a lengthier probation. I would recommend 24 months. Thank you.
Tell me about your job at American Axle. Is it with PTI, the aftermarket place in there?
Yes, quality control.
What's it called?
Quality, the position is quality inspector. I mean, sorry. She called me Friday or Thursday with the phone
Is
interview.
this through a temp agency?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm not familiar with
Well, how'd you get hired? Did you apply?
I mean, I filled out tons of applications.
Okay,
I don't know who that email. He showed me it on his phone. It's on his phone. What is it? Says Jessica Beck, AANTI.
I'll be reporting to Zachary Helm. Oh, okay. PTI.
Oh, yeah, it's PTI. Yeah, PTI. Is that a temp agency, PTI?
no, he got arrested on the 23rd and he bonded on the 29th, so he's done 6 days in jail. I'm gonna do a 24-month probation, which means you can be discharged at the end of 12 months. Or 10 days jail credit 6. And we'll do the other days on weekends. Fine is 0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee, $960 probation oversight fee, and you're to pay for the class. I'm putting you in the full domestic violence class. There's something going on here, and I don't know that I got to the bottom of it. My fear is that there's a methamphetamine component that I'm not picking up on. If I give you a test right now, what would it show?
Probably positive.
For meth?
Yeah.
All right, well, you're gonna stop using it. I think meth is underlying this. we're gonna get a test to figure out what's in there, and then we're gonna get it to 0. No assaultive or threatening behavior, to abstain from the use of any drugs and alcohol, including marijuana. I'm gonna have you go to the day reporting center today and test. If you're positive for meth or marijuana today, I'm not gonna lock you up. But I want to figure out what your benchmark is. I appreciate your candor. The methamphetamine is still lurking in the background. Do you have to take a test, a urine test, a drug test to get hired?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. We'll find out about that. I got a year hang over your head. And you did 6 days. The no contact provision is lifted. So you can get back together. You can't engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. I'm just gonna lock you up. I think you're gaslighting her. I think there's more going on here. You're saying, I'm just calming her down. You got anger issues. And you're minimizing it. So I can always flip the switch and just give you 90 or 365 days in jail. But I want you to do our domestic assault class. No assaultive or threatening behavior. Abstain from all alcohol and prohibited controlled substances. I want you to go to the day reporting center as soon as you leave here. Do you know where it is in Three Rivers?
No, I can GPS it.
It's on South Main Street, just south of downtown on the right-hand side. We'll let them know you're coming.
Yeah. David, what are you saying?
Do you have any money with you?
No, sir.
Well, we'll figure that out. Let's add up what you do owe. You have been making payments on your other stuff. You also got a speeding ticket earlier this month, but you had some other unpaid stuff and you've been making payments as recently as February. You've paid on your other stuff. So let's 125 plus 150 plus 960 plus you to pay for the class 1235. I think I may have some bond money in here. Let's take a look. I have $500 of bond. I will use bond money for first DRC test. So if you do this in 6 months or 12 months, it'll be reduced in half to 480. So take 480 off of that, and you got $500 of bond. So you're not going to owe that much money, but I'm going to save some of this bond money to pay for your first test at the day reporting center. So I want you to go out to the counter. I'll get you started as a probationer. You're allowed to have contact. You're allowed to move back in together. No drugs, no alcohol. And I think you're gaslighting me too. I think you know there's a methamphetamine problem and you were afraid to tell me that. If we can deal with that, maybe we can deal with the rest of it. You're gonna owe 2 weeks. We got time to fit that in. Main thing is I want to get you clean. If we can't, we can compel that with a jail sentence. But mostly, I don't want any assaultive or threatening behavior. She wants you back in the home. She needs your help. She needs you clean and sober, and so do these boys that are living in the house. So you take this out to the counter, and I want you to go to the day reporting center. We need to let DRC know that Mr. Wellington is coming before noon. We'll get a benchmark test and see how we're doing. All right, you go out to the counter and we'll get you started on probation. This is not deferral eligible because you have a previous domestic violence conviction, but I do think you could benefit from the class.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Ms. Maston. Thank you, Mr. Gibson. Mr. Gibson, have you had any luck finding Mr. Pontius, who's set for Wednesday?
I haven't heard anything back, but I could try to call again today.
Well, we had sent some stuff to, he has a post office box. And so that, if he does show up, I won't be here, but we'll figure it out.
I know
guess.
I did send stuff to that post office box, but something tells me that it might have been like, he might have lost that post office box, but I'm not certain.
All right, that may be true. All right, we'll see.
Okay.
How are you doing for Wednesday, Mr. George? We got anything resolved with your case?
Do I have?
I thought you had one. Maybe it was Jordan and Luke, I
I don't
guess.
believe
All right, well, you are here on Cole Kindig.
Yes, sir.
All
Both my
right,
clients are here. Who would you
Very
like
good.
First.
let's do Kindig first. This is a white pigeon case and we're graced with Aaron Geschwint on behalf of the township. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. You guys don't usually come down for these, but I appreciate the fact that you're here.
It's a good day for a drive.
The sky is blue. It's awful cold out there, but we can deal with all this blue sky. This is an interesting case. They come in all shapes and sizes. This is Cole Michael Kindig. The file is 252335. As far as I can tell, Ms. Kindig, Mr. Kindig has no previous criminal record. I didn't see this.
No, they just.
Oh, well, good.
Mr. George
Okay,
just
thank
gave
you.
it to me.
At any rate, the defendant is here with his lawyer, Mr. Tim George. This pre-sentence report was prepared by Daniel Frazine, who is on vacation. So he's not here, but he did prepare his report. Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. I think it goes without saying in these types of cases, obviously, there's always an inherent danger whenever an individual makes the decision not only to drink or use controlled substances, but then get behind the wheel. And my client understands he's fortunate that he didn't hurt or injure or kill himself or somebody else. Just as an update in the report, he did report to me that he is a pipe fitter with Local 357.
Yes.
Sounds like he works different jobs, different hours. So he does have that type of employment going from him. As the court did indicate, he doesn't have any type of prior criminal history. He was pulled over for speeding in this matter. All reports that I have is that he was cooperative with the police and in the investigation. I think the time that he did spend in custody was an eye-opener for him. My client is young, and I think that in reviewing the report, he does realize that he was living a lifestyle that probably wasn't conducive to great choices.
At the same time, Your Honor, he did plead to an impaired driving in this case. There's a relatively above the legal limit, but low blood alcohol content. There was not an accident. We would ask the court to consider whether fines and costs and time already served would be appropriate. In the alternative, if the court did feel that a supervised probation was appropriate, we'd ask the court to impose a 6-month probation that would allow him to get the Prime for Life, the victim impact panel, and some testing done. I believe that can be accomplished in 6 months rather than 12. Thank you.
Ms. Geschwint, this is a white pigeon case, and we get quite a few of these. White pigeon is at the intersection of US 12 and US 131. So there are 2 highways that go through there, and we get our share of cases. This one was going down US 12. But my recall, you were coming from Sturgis?
I was coming from Elkhart.
Elkhart. All right, Ms. Geschwint, what's the village's perspective on this?
And the village believes that a period of probation would be appropriate. I do agree with Attorney George that maybe 6 months is more appropriate than 12. As previously indicated, the BAC was rather low. There was no prior criminal history, no accident, but I do believe a period of probation would be appropriate in this matter, just to make sure that at such a young age, he does not start down a bad path, keep him on the good path.
I'm certainly in favor of that. We do something called a timeout probation, where we give people a timeout from alcohol. We've become somewhat desensitized to high blood alcohol levels. The next case we have is very high blood alcohol. Lady driving down 131 at a 247 in the middle of the afternoon. We've been seeing 3s. Someone the other day was a 5'7", not driving, but she was taken to the hospital. The Auburn Hills case from 2023 says that district courts are supposed to sentence their defendants proportionally. And they didn't explain what that meant. Circuit court has a requirement of proportional sentencing, and they have the sentencing guidelines. District court does not have sentencing guidelines. We have our own that we use for drinking, driving offenses. And so proportionality means, I guess there's a spectrum of how people are to be sentenced. In addition, the Criminal Justice Reform Act implemented a presumption that there is no jail or probation in non-serious misdemeanors. And in the wisdom of the state legislature, drinking, driving cases where there is no accident is a non-serious misdemeanor. So I've been thinking about this case since last week. I think I first read this on Thursday afternoon. Proportional to what? If this defendant is on the proportional scale, he's at the bottom. His blood alcohol was certainly over the legal limit. His PBT was 104, and the actual test came back at 0.96, which is over the legal limit. But at the very low end of the cases we see. But that's where the desensitized part come in. You're good and drunk at 0.096, shouldn't be operating on a public roadway. You've got no traffic tickets, no criminal record whatsoever. As your lawyer indicated, you were polite and respectful to the officers. There was no bad driving. You were going 47 and a 35, which is very common right there. The only thing that troubles me is you were going all the way from Elkhart to Portage at this blood alcohol level. And as your lawyer and the prosecutor said, it's fortunate nobody else was hit or you didn't hit something. But in terms of proportionality, you're certainly at the bottom of the scale for 2026. And at the bottom of the scale for all of last year. They did give you an impaired. An impaired is given in, I think, a high percentage of the cases. And the legislature says this is a non-serious misdemeanor. So if I gotta be proportional, somebody has to be at the bottom of the proportion. The fine is $300. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, a $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee. Police reimbursement of $120. I'm gonna order you to do the victim impact panel, which is $32. Let's add all that up. You got a PR bond, so I don't have any money to apply to this. But when they tell you drinking, driving is expensive, they're right. You've got a good job. So you have the ability to pay this, but 300 plus 125 plus 100 plus 150 plus 120 plus 32 is $827. That's as low as it gets. Let me add this again. 300 plus 125 plus 100 screening fee plus $150 attorney fee, $120 police reimbursement, good for White Pigeon for including it, $32, $827. You are to attend the victim impact panel within 6 months. I'm not going to put you on a probation, and I'm not going to order any additional jail time. For many, many years, Judge McManus had a theory that everyone should spend 1 day drunk and 1 day sober. So everybody that got convicted of drinking, driving spent at least 2 days in jail. But you can't do that anymore. There's some logic in it. You got arrested on the 16th. And you bonded on the 17th. So we'll call it 1 day jail credit, 1 day. You owe $827 within 6 months. I'm going to send you out to the court for the victim impact referral. Mr. Kindig, you're the first person in this year that hasn't received a jail sentence as part of their sentence. And I hope what happened already is enough. A high percentage of people that get arrested for drunk driving never come back. It's expensive, it's embarrassing, it's humiliating. And so I don't ever want to do that again. I'm hoping that you're in that percentage. There's another percentage that come back over and over again, and they take up a lot of our time and effort. So hopefully this is enough to make you realize you can't try to get from Elkhart to Kalamazoo after drinking a bunch of alcohol. There's a high likelihood that an accident may have occurred. We'll never know. You can also do the victim impact in Kalamazoo. I'd rather you did it here. Give you the envelope regarding the fine. You can pay with a credit card, you can send in payments. Pay it all at once in green cash. But today is March 2nd. It's due by 8/2/26. All right, give you that. As I indicated, all the factors, no prior criminal record, no prior traffic record, relatively low blood alcohol level, no accident, polite, cooperative with the officers, and no significant bad driving other than speeding, all led to this. All right, you take this out to the counter and they'll give you some information about the victim impact panel when it is.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Geschwitz. Nice to see you. It was a nice day for a drive, but do you have any other business down here?
No.
Or you get a trip to Yoder's before you go back, and then I'll see you next time.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
This next case is Mr. Huff's. And I wish he was here, but he's not feeling well. And, but he did do an excellent report. He has some serious concerns about this case.
He said to the right, for you, yeah.
This is file number 252290SD. Are you Ruth Jane Minkle?
Yes.
Here with your lawyer, Mr. Timothy George. Also present is Abby Stoll from the prosecuting attorney's office. This was originally charged as operating with a high blood alcohol level. The matter was reduced to operating while intoxicated, which is going to cause your driver's license to be suspended, which is going to be a hardship for you. Somebody has given me an AA log and a letter, couple letters. Excuse me just a moment. Yes.
Could we bother you to get the headphone set for my client?
No, Laura, could you help us? No bother at all.
While we're getting that, Your Honor, we did provide a letter of support, a letter documenting AA attendance, and then also some AA log, as well as a certificate of completion and a pivotal assessment from last year.
Could you help her with the headsets?
Absolutely.
This was Michelle's area of expertise, but she's not with us, and Paul.
So this
stepped-
young lady over
Yes.
here? She said we had to be. And I have to play around with that.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see.
Which is right or
I
left.
don't think, it doesn't matter on those, I don't think. Okay, let's see.
Oh. Oh. Oh, yes,
Can you hear me now?
yeah,
Okay,
Very
good. I got
good.
you on the right channel then.
Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. George, what would you like me to know?
Thank you, Your Honor. And I think one of the things that has struck me most in my representation of Ruth is her insight into what led her to this very troubling situation. I know she is absolutely horrified by what happened, that she allowed herself to be in a situation to put, the community as a whole at risk. But, as I had recently mentioned, fortunately, she's here with no further issues other than the alcohol and driving. My client's been dealing with a significant substance abuse issue for a number of years, and she has taken a lot of steps, and she provided me a lot of documentation about what all she's gone through really over the last 2 decades, including treatment, inpatient treatment, therapy, counseling, AA, substance abuse evaluations. She's really found a way on her own to handle this significant issue. She's had significant losses that she's dealt with. She's lost 2 husbands over the last 2 decades or so.
25
And those have been significant triggering events. And fortunately, she's been able to, through her treatment, handle those. I think you find my client now as someone who's alone in a lot of ways. She does live by herself with her cat, and doesn't really have much in the way of family in the area to lean on. But she does have a neighbor here who's helping her out. And I think at its core, Your Honor, you're dealing with a very intelligent individual, very educated individual that realizes what she's dealing with. And I think there are circumstances with the Ativan that she was taking at the time and having, uncontrollable shakes, and felt, if I can just have a drink, then I can get rid of those shakes. Well, it did that, but obviously had a more profound impact on her. And I know that she's terribly sorry about that and wishes that she could go back and change it. On the positive, she does report to me that she has not had anything to drink since the date of the offense. She reported that she just had her 3-month coin that was given to her, and she's immediately plugged herself back into services. So all in all, Your Honor, I know it's the facts are not great, and it's not a great situation, but I think before you is someone who understands the level of addiction that she's dealing with, someone that's been doing the right things for a long period of time, had this issue, but then plugged herself back in and is continuing to do the right things. I think based on those factors, Matt's recommendation is appropriate. It allows her to continue on with everything that she's doing, probably adding in the testing, and we talked about that a little bit today. But I don't believe that this is a situation where any additional jail would be appropriate. I think she understands the significant nature of the offense, and we'd ask the court to adopt Mr. Huff's recommendation. Thank you.
Abigail, what's your thought here?
Thank you, Your Honor. I also believe that the recommendation is appropriate, and I would ask the court to follow it.
Ms. Minkle, what he's recommending is that I give you 7 days jail, credit for the 2 that you already did, and defer 5 days, not order any additional jail at this time, and put you on a probation where we supervise your attempts to get to sobriety. So you're an interesting case to me. I've been here for a long time. You and I are about the same age, and I feel I know everybody, but there are lots of people that I don't know. They don't get in trouble. They don't come to court. They don't come here. And you've been silently in desperation, struggling with alcohol for years, but you've never come to the attention of law enforcement. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I was just asking for Kleenex, Your Honor.
Oh, yeah, we moved them from the plaintiff defendant side to the other
Thank you.
side, thank you.
Thank you.
So Constantine's not your town, but now it is your town.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Constantine is the kind of place where they would claim you.
Yeah.
You would find neighbors to help you. You would find a community. Sounds like you're involved in the American Legion.
Yeah,
Was your husband in the military?
he was in Vietnam.
I think you
Both
told,
husbands.
I think you told me that at the time of your plea. So there's a real community there at the American Legion.
Yeah,
And so I'm glad to know that you've got some friends down there. It's a tight-knit little town. But this was bad. And you heard me talk about 131 and the big hill and what you were doing, and it's just by divine intervention that there wasn't a fatal accident involving you and or somebody else.
praise God.
But I think this was a big eye opener for you. You accepted responsibility. And you're plugged into AA. Now you're doing all your AAs in Constantine?
Yeah.
Because it's most convenient?
No, I'm a very loyal person and I just like, it's like my family, so that's.
Well, did you do Constantine previously?
Yes, I did.
All right.
During my,
Well,
yeah,
there's another community. And I'm the sobriety court judge, and we've got some people in our sobriety court group that are doing their AA in Constantine. I know one of the guys that signed your letter, Paul,
yeah.
and I'm very glad to know he's in that community. Tell Paul I said hello.
Well,
And Rebecca and some other people that I hope are still plugged in down there. Rebecca.
I'm the only woman now.
All right. Anyway, that encourages me. You've got some support here. You've got American Legion friends and associates. And you got your AA family and associates.
Your Honor,
Yes.
can I talk?
Yes, this is your turn.
Oh, I also go to the gym because when my husband passed away, I found myself totally isolated. And we just moved, we just retired and bought the house. When he passed away the year after, so I didn't know anybody very well. I didn't, so part of that isolation in the house over the years, over these past 9 years, I just made alcohol my friend. It was my medicine at home, in the
Yes.
house, isolated. And it just went downhill. It just got worse. So I sought help. I mean, I knew I had a problem and I went for help,
Now you have some stepchildren. Are they involved at all, or they are live
They're
somewhere?
all in different, well, two of them, one's in Chicago, one's in North Carolina. The other one's in Detroit. My stepdaughter's in Detroit. They never get this way unless they go see their mom, because I'm the stepmom.
Mhm.
And they go to Niles. So I get on okay with the mom. We always bonded, we were all right. So she calls me up and I go, when the kids come, I go there, and that's really the only time I ever see them.
All right. Well, this is going to extend your life by years.
Yeah.
Not to mention if you hit a tree going somewhere, but literally, if you can get over this hump,
Yeah,
it will extend your life by years.
yeah.
But I'm going to follow Matt's recommendation.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I just want to say that when I've been sober, that my strength has come from the Lord, and I'm very, very, I think that's what has actually kept me going and kept me strong when I've been sober. So I've got closer all these years to the Lord. And so.
Well, I've only met you when you're sober. So, like I said, you've been there in quiet desperation.
Yeah.
What part of England are you from?
I'm from Lancashire, a place called Blackpool in Lancashire. In fact, your name is very prevalent to me, Middleton, because my mother was born in a town called Middleton in Lancashire. And the town was owned by the Middleton family back in the 1800s. And so they called the town Middleton, and it's like about 25 miles from Blackpool. Blackpool's on the coast. And my grandma was Irish, that's why I wear green all the time. She was from County Cork.
My family came from England
Yeah,
to Canada,
yeah,
and I was able to obtain, with a gracious help of one of the people that views our channel, my family history. And my great grandfather, Isaac Middleton, great grandfather, came from England to Ontario in 17,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, I may be related to those
You
folks.
probably are.
My people weren't the kind of people that owned the town. They were the kind of people that worked for the people that
Yeah.
owned the town. But
Well, my grandfather worked on the mines, so coal mines, so
I'm gonna do a 12-month probation, 7 days jail credit, 2, leaving 5 days to serve, but if the 7 days ordered, 5 are deferred. I'm gonna reduce your fine because you're gonna do this probation. Fine is 0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $100 screening fee, $150 attorney fee, $480 probation oversight fee, a $200 reimbursement to the sheriff's department. And I'm really glad nobody was hurt.
every time I pass, Your Honor, every time I pass that road, I have to go to the grocery store that way. I feel sick every time I pass the road thinking about what could have happened. So I'm very aware, I'm very ashamed of it.
Well, we'll get over it. It didn't happen, and we'll hope for the best. Also, I'm ordering the victim impact panel along with our last young man. There's no bond to apply here. If you do this in less than 6 months, it will reduce the bond by $40 each month. I'm ordered substance abuse counseling and treatment support group, alcohol and drug testing at random. You attend the victim impact panel. You're not to use any drugs or any alcohol. Drugs are not an issue for you,
Nope.
but certainly you're also combining alcohol with Ativan and your other prescription medications,
No.
which makes it even worse. You can take all your prescribed medication.
Yeah.
You just can't.
I went to the doctors and told the doctor, I want it red flagged. I don't ever want that stuff again.
All right. I think you're gonna be a cooperative and ideal probationer. You're gonna do what's asked, and I think Matt will. You'll find he's gonna be easy to work with. But I'm serious. If you stay on this course, it's gonna significantly shorten your life. Our age, we don't have that much of it left.
No, and I've had cancer twice, and God has brought me through it. He must have something in mind for me.
Well, maybe you can be a role model for somebody else.
That's what I'd like to do.
Now, one wrinkle here is you're gonna lose your driver's license for a period of time. I don't have any control over that. That's by operation of the law. I had people in the past who volunteered, I didn't do the community service. 20 hours of community work service. You can probably do that at the American Legion.
Yeah,
I had some people in sobriety court that did their community service at American Legion. They'd show up every Sunday and help at the Sunday breakfast.
that's what I do.
Then they just kept going. So they finished their I think they might still be volunteering there.
I've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, so for you, it's just gonna be, and it gets you out of the house. It's a sense of community. There are good people there. You can't sit in there. Alcohol will weigh heavily on your mind. You need to be out, you need to be engaged, you need to be doing things. All right, I'm gonna have Mr. George take you out to the counter. Mr. Huff isn't here today because he's ill. We are about a week out from setting up the probation office across the street. They're getting the electronic equipment, the computers hooked up in there. They've cleaned those. There are total 4 offices, and we're gonna be right across the street. But for now, if you go out to the counter, someone will meet with you. Our probation clerk isn't here today either. Everybody's got some sort of bug. Miss Minkle, what I hope is that this is successful. I don't hear much more about you other than good news. Say hello to Paul. And everybody else there, maybe you can help them too. All right, you're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roma. God bless you.
Thank you. I'll take all the help I could get. Mr. George,
Yes,
I
sir.
did have a question. Let me stop the